Hey bud, Calvin here, and welcome to video number 7 of the 7-Day Mindset. Today we're going to be discussing the revision of what we've covered in the previous videos and a very important message at the end. So to give us a quick summary of what we've covered so far in the 7-Day Mindset, we've gone through and we've looked at how do we find our niche. Our niche would be to find the market that we can actually have our own passion and that we all have a personal interest to. That we're able to talk to our avatar in such a way that it actually comes around with dedication and primary focus that you are actually an authority in respect to this particular niche. In the next video we covered the topic of advertise to yourself. This is where we set our own ambitions. What are the objectives that we want to achieve? And this will be in our life. And if you recall, this is where we drew our 4 circles of our life, and we covered our life, our year, our month and our day. And by setting these goals and these tasks, we're able to make sure that we do the things that are actually going to let us achieve our life ambition. And obviously in our business, we need to make sure that we're doing the things on a daily, weekly and monthly basis in order to achieve something. And if we do not have focus, we cannot achieve what we want to set out to do. So this covered our story of advertise to yourself. What we covered next was identify your avatar. What we did is we first summarized that the avatar is our perfect buyer. We then profiled what our perfect buyer would be for our particular product, service or offering, and we then make sure that we actually give some focus on these interested buyers by making sure that we have our products actually talking to this particular perfect buyer. And what we did is we actually tried to narrow and shrink the profile. The idea here is that we don't want to try and convince people outside of our perfect avatar to buy new stuff that's not in their interest or in their domain or even in their thought. So this is really about making sure that we focus on our interested buyer and making sure that the avatar that we've selected within the niche that we've selected and the avatar that we are able to narrow and shrink the profile in such a way that we have a way to actually pinpoint who our avatar is, where they are, what do they do, where do they hang out and where can we find them. Next we covered the mindset of your avatar. In this episode we spoke about the state of the mind of your avatar, and this covered whether they're excited or bored or anxious, etc. And what we also covered was what do they really want, what are their requirements, what motivates them, what satisfies them. Then what we did is we did a deep dive into the avatar, and here we try to associate the avatar with the different senses, and this covered our eyes, ears, the smell, the tongue taste, the body and the emotion of the avatar. And this really gives us so much closer to who our perfect buyer actually is and what are the things that we would use to drive our avatar to actually want our product and service that we actually put in front of them. What is going to trigger them to take action? In the next area we covered talk to your avatar. When we spoke about talking to our avatar, yeah, we covered our communication plan, and this really covered when are we going to communicate with them, how are we going to communicate them, and what are we going to communicate to them. And the objective of this one was to have a formal plan in order for us to communicate effectively with our avatar using the previous knowledge of the state of mind of our avatar, as well as identification of the avatar, as well as our niche. And that all comes together for us to have a concisive action to take, to get it done. What I want to cover today is what I call the triple R. What this means is that we've got 3 major R's in our life that we have to do when we look at our marketing, on our online marketing business. The first one is we need to reward ourselves. So we've done all the activities in the previous ones, and we start to see from the activities we've done in the form of some type of reward. This is where we need to reward ourselves. So, you know, once we've done and we've made some money off of it, or we've sold some products, we need to reward ourselves. And this is not financial reward all the time. It could be going out for lunch with your family. It could be just spending time with your family and friends, taking a time out, or getting a breakaway. The next R we cover is to rinse. So everything that we've done in the past week, we need to redo the whole step over again and clear it up, rinse it up. Take out all of the things that didn't work, reevaluate whether we have done all the correct things, and if we need to update or make changes, this is where we do it. We do that in the rinse. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to repeat everything we've done. And when we repeat it, we make sure that once we've rewarded ourselves, once we've rinsed it and made it more and more sharp, for us to actually see the benefits of it, we then repeat the whole process over again. This is a cyclical event, so reward yourself, rinse what you've done, and repeat. So this brings us to the end of the 7-Day Mindset. This has been a 7-video series, and I'd like to thank you for your participation and for going through and watching these videos. This is Calvin, signing out for the last time. Goodbye.